Hello, and welcome to a Vault Hunters 118 mod guide. Today we are doing simple storage. Clocking in at only 2 research points, simple storage is an amazing first pick for a mod in your Vault Hunters world. It is a GUI-based storage mod like Refined Storage or Applied Energistics, but it does not use any FE. The resources are very cheap, and as the mod name suggests, it is simple. In fact, this configuration right here, even just sans this, is all you actually need to start a simple storage network. So what exactly are we looking at? Well, this is the essential simple storage network. You need this, a storage network root. You need a storage inventory. You'll need some link cables, and you'll probably want some network cables. All of those items are fairly cheap. You need one storage root and only one storage root per network to actually hook everything together. The storage inventory is the interface. You can open it up and you'll see it has a large, currently blank screen where your items would be, as well as a search bar. And if you hold shift, it'll tell you a few advanced searching options. This button here, you can link it to JEI, so anything you search in the search bar searches in JEI, or you can keep it completely separate. Here, you can sort by name, mod, or amount, and you can change it to ascending or descending. And that really is the functionality of this block. The way the mod works is really simple. It basically agglomerates all of these double chests, which you can see are empty at the moment, and it combines them all together into one visibility spot. So I can shift drag all of these items in. It'll tell you how many of the item you have. You can take out a stack at a time, even half a stack at a time. You can search for items. It's honestly pretty incredible. And you'll see in one of these chests, let's see, this guy, it has actually dumped the items. And if I take out the polished granite from there, it will no longer show in the system. I can also put the polished granite in any of these chests, and it will once again show in the system. Now, the chests that you want to be a part of your system need to be hooked up to these link cables. And a link cable can only link one inventory at a time. These link cables are not connected. They will not add. And even though this network cable appears to be connected to the chest, it will not link it to the system. It's just connecting to it because it's like a visual thing. You also technically don't need these storage cables, but the link cables do need to be hooked up to the system. You can hook them up with linking cables, but it's a little more expensive and kind of unnecessary. This can be as big as you want. You can stack these link cables infinitely up into the sky, chests infinitely up into the sky, and have as many slots and chests as you want. If you ever want to see how many open slots you have, right-click the root with an open hand, and the purple number is the amount of slots you have open. One of the minor disadvantages is that a stack of diamonds and a single minecart do take up the same amount of space in simple storage, since it is physical inventory based. And if all you're looking for is this, then congratulations, that's it. That's the full setup. This will cover 90% of an early game storage system, but there are some more complex interactions that simple storage can have, mainly through additional cables. One of the most basic cables is the regular import cable, another fairly cheap upgrade to your system, and all it does is attaching it to an external inventory. You can drop your items in, and it will very slowly drag them into the system. You can see over here, the wood is coming in. You do have to refresh the page by exiting and entering it. It doesn't have dynamic stuff, but this is linked, and all of our items are within the system. This slightly brighter one is the filtered import cable. It has a filter where I have put in oak logs, spruce logs, and birch logs, and these slots up top, it has upgrades for. Now, right now, this is an ignore list, so it will not put in oak, spruce, or birch. And if I drag those in, you'll see it takes everything out of this chest except for oak, spruce, and birch. You can, however, by clicking the red box, turn it into a gray allow list, meaning it will only suck in the oak, spruce, and birch. And we can see that happening right here. This green cable here is the export cable, and export cables already come with a filter and upgrade slots pre-installed inside of it. There's no additional upgrades you need to make to it. And as the name would suggest, the export cable draws items from the system into an external inventory. So let's say I wanted all of my coal blocks in this chest. it will start pulling them very slowly, and you'll see it actually pulls 4 at a time. The default import cable and an unupgraded filtered import cable will also pull 4 at a time. If you want more granular control over what goes in or what you can see in your system, then you can use the filtered link cable, which comes with a filter slot, and it will actually allow or deny certain items to even show up in your system. Let's say you don't want raw iron to show up in your system, and you have a chest of iron ingots and raw iron. You'll only see the iron ingots. The raw iron is completely invisible to the system. On the other hand, let's say you want all of your iron to go into this chest and this chest only. You don't want your iron in this chest, you want it in this one. You could set your filtered link cable to allow only iron ingots. However, you'll see even when I dump them all in, nothing goes into this chest. It all goes into this one, and that is because of priority. The plus and minus symbols that you've been seeing at the top of each of the cables is the priority. The lower the priority, the higher in the priority list it actually is. So the thing with the lowest priority is looked at first. So now, since I've organized priority, you'll see you can still see the iron ingots and the raw iron, but only the raw iron is in this chest, and the iron ingots are in this chest. Both filtered import cables as well as export cables have certain upgrades. The stack upgrade means the import or export cable will pull an entire stack at a time. The speed upgrade means that the import or export cable will work a little faster, and the slowness upgrade means that the import or export cable will actually work a little slower in case you need that. An operation upgrade adds a little bit of logic. This logic here takes in an item, asks whether it's less than, equal to, or greater than this number within the system. Not within the inventory it's attached to, but within the system. Say we have a chest full of stone, but we don't want to flood our system with it. Let's say when the stone inside of the system is less than 128, only then will we allow the entering of stone. You can see that the stone is being pulled into the system, and I can speed this up with a speed and a stack upgrade. And once it's pulled 2 stacks, so there's 128 in the system, it stops pulling stone in. If I were to remove a stack of stone, it would pull another, replenishing it to 128. A singleton upgrade is pretty easy. It just sets the size of the task to 1, so pulling or pushing only 1 item at a time. And the stock upgrade is exclusive to the export cables. They can only be put on export cables, but what it does is it keeps a consistent stock of items in the attached inventory based on how many items you put in the filter. So let's say I filter out exactly 10 coal ore. You'll see it shows up in the filter, and when I dump my coal ore into the system, we can see that it fills up the chest only exactly to 10. If I take 10 out, it will begin filling it up again, and it only goes to 10. Using a combination of many of these upgrades and cables, you can make some fairly complex automation. For instance, I have a little super smelter here. On the back, the super smelter takes in coal only if we have more than 2 stacks of coal in the system. Using a stock upgrade, it ensures that each furnace, smoker, or blast furnace only ever receives 1 piece of coal, which keeps it almost lossless, very efficient. The top export cables are the items. Up here, I have it pushing raw iron, raw copper, and raw gold. Here, I have it pushing raw steak, but only if we have less than a stack of cooked steak. Here I have raw pork, but only if we have less than a stack of cooked pork. And here I have cobblestone, only if we have more than 256 cobblestone in the system. If I only dump in a stack of coal, you'll see that none of our furnaces are filled. However, if I dump in 2 more stacks, bringing us up to above 128, each of the furnaces now have 1 piece of coal inside of them. I can now drop in some of the items I want smelted, ensuring to have more than 4 stacks of cobblestone, and all of our furnaces light up. Our iron is being smelted into iron ingots and pulled into the system. The smoker is smelting up our steak and our pork, and our cobblestone is being converted into a little bit of stone. And as you can see, our coal is never going to fall below 1, nor is it ever going to go above it, keeping this furnace as efficient as possible. You can also see, since we fell to 256 cobblestone, it has stopped pulling the cobblestone into the furnace, meaning we'll never run out of cobblestone, but we'll always have a supply of smooth stone that we can use in our vault altars. As a quick note, you can upgrade your storage inventory to a storage request table, which actually has a crafting table inside of it, and you can craft items out of it. It's very useful, but this is an expensive block, requiring a pog. That being said, it is a great use for your first pog if you have this mod unlocked. Simple Storage is also capable of hooking up to other mods. Here we have a big old colossal chest, and if I dump my pink dye into the colossal chest, and it has a link cable attached to the interface, you'll see all of our pink dye shows up in the system and can be taken out and put back in. This will even work with drawers. You can use a link cable to a drawer controller, dump your items into the system, and you'll see they show up all in the proper drawers and can be taken out and put back in. Pretty much, as long as it's an inventory, the link cable can connect to it and upgrade all of your storage mods. That being said, it will not work with something like refined storage or applied energistics. As you can see, we have 64 warped planks, and even though there's a link cable, it does not show up here. Funny enough, you can link it to a disk drive to see the disks inside of a disk drive. So a simple storage network could be an easy way to insert and take out disk drives if you wanted to use it in that way. The final two things I really want to show off here are the network collection interface and the network exchange interface. A network collection interface basically adds a block that you can hopper things into. If I place a hopper here, you'll see I'm hoppering the burger cheese right into the system. Similarly, the network exchange interface will allow me to hopper items into a system, but if connected with cables or whatnot, you can also arbitrarily hopper items out. So if you ever needed a really quick way to extract items from your system, then you wanted to just pull every single item, use a network exchange. And that is Simple Storage. It's inexpensive, doesn't use any FE, so you don't need to unlock expensive mods like power or iron generators. And it provides a really clean GUI with searching, sorting, and everything you need down to crafting table integration that will really tie you over for a very, very long time before you ever need to go into more expensive applied energistics or refined storage. Although it is limited in what it can do, honestly, I could see someone doing an entire playthrough with just Simple Storage. I hope this video was informative and will help you on your Vault Hunters 118 journey. More mod guides are coming in the future. I'm going to be going over the storage mod first before getting into any other ones, but leave in the comments down below if there's a mod that you're particularly struggling with and want me to prioritize in my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and please subscribe for more single-player Let's Play content as well as these guides. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everybody!